Ready to go in West Palm Beach, Florida. 73 degrees, 12-mile-an-hour winds heading out towards right field, and we are underway with a first pitch fastball for a called strike.
Two-seamer to jam right-handed hitters.
Extended first at bat of the day for Brown, and Acuna puts it past the diving Zach DeZenzo at first base and into right field. Chas McCormick gets to it in a hurry, but with Acuna's speed, he's easily into second base with a leadoff double. Luis Angel Acuna.
Out of the hand of Hunter Brown last season was firm to quite firm. A little changeup maybe.
Yeah, a little change piece. It's grounded to the right side where Brendan Rodgers, the Gold Glover 3 years ago, makes the play for out number one. On the play, Acuna moves over to third. Tyrone Taylor. There's a ball. Line towards short. Pena picks it in a double play. JP3 catches it in the air, and they get Acuna off third base. Line up in the first pitch to Jose Altuve is a called strike. It's Altuve, Paredes, and Yordan Alvarez that runs batted in. Pitch is a called strike, a three-pitch strikeout for Tyler McGill to start this one as he gets Altuve looking. I think the Astros kind of like the fact that Isak can get on base and ahead of the big man. This one into right field. Easy play for the right fielder, Canario. Alexander Canario makes the play.
5 and 7 pitch innings.
Yordan staying alive, 1-2. That's a called third strike as he catches the outside corner with a breaking ball. A couple of called third strikes for McGill in the first inning. Starting game 2 of the season against these New York Mets. This ball on the ground to the right side. Brendan Rodgers to his left makes the play for the first out of the inning.
Last 12 starts, just to kind of reinforce that, he had a 568 OPS against, so they weren't slugging and they weren't getting on base.
This ball in the air, Chas thought about the dive. Instead, he plays it on a hop. Now it's just enough away from Chas McCormick.
Tough angle to play.
There goes the runner on a 2-2 pitch. Pitches outside. The throw's a good one and out at second base. Alexander Canario gets thrown out by Yainer Diaz.
Coming out from behind home plate, but credit Jeremy Pena. He's a guy that will hold in there and keep that tag on the runners. You see maybe Canario coming off a little bit. Also thought it was interesting to see how, never mind, let's move on.
Let's move on. Hunter Brown uses a caught stealing. 3 for 25. Leads the team in at bat so far this spring. And hits the ball hard into right field, and that will be a nice sliding catch by the right fielder Alexander Canario. Canario making that play to rob Yainer Diaz. As Zach has seen most of his time this spring in the outfield, but getting a second start at first base, and this ball towards the corner and right's going to be down for a base hit. DeZenzo is going to be heading to second, and he has the Astros' first base hit of the day. A one-out double for Zach DeZenzo, his 8th hit of the spring in 25 at-bats.
To understand his swing a little bit more, getting a little more simplified up there, but that's that down and away portion of the zone where he's chased just a little bit, trying to go get some of those pitches off the outside edge and down.
His 4 hits. Right hand hitting second baseman, grounds 1 to third on 2 hops for Brett Beatty, and the Astros are out in the second inning.
What it's going to be like having the Crawford boxes right on his backside.
No doubt about it. You know, and we go. You know, the real test is when we get there, of course, and we can assimilate it all we want. Lineup rather, and you take a guy like a Cam Smith, you put him in the same situation with Zach DeZenzo. Really big kid, very athletic, and outfield. He comes in with a really good attitude every day, looking to get better.
How about Hunter Brown striking out the side with you on the headset? Nice, good luck charm, Clarkie. Thanks for joining us.
Barrel some baseballs up.
I think Chas is realistic too. He knows the leash cannot be as long as it's been in the past, as the Astros have some options. We mentioned all the Indio Dubon. He's just 1 for 19 so far this spring. Dubon does have his second base hit, and there's a clean single in the right field. Well, the Astros have their second base runner of the day, a 1-out single for Mauricio. Is that Altuve has lost a step of speed. And we'll talk about this another inning because we might have a double play ground ball here. Because his speed's fine. It's just some plays like that where he's not getting his best sprint speed.
Yep. Oh, nice. Yeah, but I know that we, like later, when they get back from spring or for their spring break, wow.
That's so smooth.
It's so easy, too.
Jeremy Pena throws out Luis Angel Acuna on a play up the middle.
Defense better be on their toes early to start the season.
Beatty goes down on strikes. Hunter Brown continues to look impressive. 5 strikeouts, 4 of the last 5 batters. Getting a battle here from Tyrone Taylor, 3-2. And Taylor goes down on strikes. Hunter Brown punches the glove, kind of motions to Yainer Diaz. Paredes will see a lot of pitches, more than anybody else in the major leagues on average last year, and he sees a lot of pitches in this walk to lead off. This one the other way off the end of the bat. That is caught in the air, I believe. Yes, it is caught in the air. Beatty.
Give it your all, give it your best shot, and unfortunately we came up short as a team. But it was oh man, there you go. You know, it was a
challenges for the Astros and Joe Espada and Josh Miller and Bill Murphy as Hader gets a pop-up on the infield. In fact, it's in foul territory. Zach DeZenzo waits for it and puts it away. Joey Meneses out number 1.
It's got a little less flow going on in the back.
Yeah, a little shorter haircut. This ball grounded towards third. That's a fair ball. Paredes on the move. That's a nice play. Right on the money with that off-balance throw. As he
the first baseman, and you took your glove and you made a huge circle. That would be the window to throw it in.
Good inning for Hader. Gets a little PFP practice as well for the pitcher covering on the final out. 1, 2, 3 for Josh. Clarkey earlier today, and this year the lone new addition is Tony Perez-Chica. DeZenzo goes down on strikes. So Max Kranick comes in and picks up a strikeout of the first batter he faces, and there's one away.
Every time out of the box and everywhere you run.
Well, he gets to watch the wheels here as he'll turn first on that base hit to left field, but he'll hold up. Jeremy Pena continues his .500 batting average on the spring. He's now trying to make a roster on a new team. He has joined a team that is very heavy on right-hand hitters, so that will not work into Rogers' favor because he is a right-hand hitter. Strikes out here. There he goes, and the pitch is swung on and popped high in the air. Pena will continue on with 2 outs as drifting out to make the play is the new 2-0 the count here, and sent high in the air off the bat of Jose Azocar. Into center field where Mauricio Dubon backs up with the sunglasses on, drifts onto the edge of the warning track.
And Josh Hader, but at the same time, you'd hope to avoid a start like the Astros had last season where they fell behind so quickly and, like we talked about, had to hunt wins and get them out of there early.
Your bullpen high leverage guys. Sanger chops this one. Tough play for Abreu. Oh, the nice pair hand
nice
play. Yes, Brian Abreu. He got his PFP work in as well, just like Josh Hader. Nice season for the Mets last year as he delivers one to Dubon, who's now 2 for 2. Doobie was 1 for 19 this spring and now has 2 hits and 2 at-bats today.
Thrown it out Altuve throughout the course of his career that he's pretty much ready to adapt to anything. And the way he goes, his attitude about tackling those issues.
Had not walked anybody in his previous 3 outings. And he doesn't walk, at least on this pitch, Isaac Paredes as he pops one up. Calling off the catcher at the last second. Sanger bails as Brett Beatty made the call. Tough play for the catcher.
Jordan wants to.
Swing and a miss. Garrett comes back with a strikeout after a pop-up. Swing and a miss. Impressive comeback for Garrett after allowing his first 2 batters to reach of the spring as he strikes out Alvarez and Yainer Diaz to get through the 6th. He's going to be the 7th inning guy this year. This ball hit well into center field. Acuna is going to have a base hit. It tails back to Dubon, who fumbles it momentarily. And now he gets it back in. Luis Angel Acuna with his 2nd hit of the game. He's off the bat of Tyrone Taylor. Acuna going, and there's a base hit by Brett Beatty. His good spring continues. Acuna running with the pitch. Will not challenge Jose Altuve as he holds up at second base. 1st and 2nd.
Imagine what those nails would look like if all the time he has out there now. He's the human manicure.
This ball looped into right. Chaz has a tough play. They're going to tag on this one, you would think. Acuna does tag, and he'll get to 3rd. Chaz had to stay with that ball as it drifted towards the line. 1st and 3rd, 1 out in a scoreless game, and Meneses goes down on strikes. Big strikeout for Taylor Scott. Keeps the runners on the corners and keeps the game scoreless. 2-3 is very impressive. There goes a running start. No chance for Yainer Diaz to throw out the runner, as Brett Beatty really had a huge jump off his first. And Scott's workload in that late July game. So there's a walk. Taylor Scott has now 4 for 24 on the spring. Sends this one high in the air, deep to right field. Wind blowing out that way, and that's a slam into the Mets bullpen as the relievers out there celebrate a grand slam by Donovan Walton. Walton wasn't even supposed to be in the lineup today. Initially, we thought Francisco Lindor would be the shortstop, but the lefty hitting shortstop putting 4 on the board for New York on the grand slam here in the 7th.
Yeah, we went 6 innings strong of just a couple of hits, and then command eluding Taylor Scott as he's walked a couple of guys, given up a base hit, but a couple of hitters counts in this inning lead to a grand slam. So
also part of a year with the Giants in 2022 with a grand slam. This one lined to Chas McCormick, so the inning ends, but 4 big runs scored for the Mets.
33-year-old right-hander still has plenty of velocity in that arm, pitching with the Texas Rangers. That one sent right back at him. Averages 96 on the velocity, also has a slider changeup and 4-seam, but DeZenzo not wasting any time seeing that first heater.
Spring, do you feel like you have been locked in pretty much so far this spring? Oh, do we have one, JP?
Oh, call it.
Bastida's putting a charge into one. It goes over the wall on a ground rule double. So that spot in the lineup stays hot. Jeremy leaves that spot in the lineup, and Jesus Bastidas with a ground rule double. But JP,
the better of the team. You know, he's a person that cares about his teammates.
Brendan Rodgers. Did he?
Let's go.
Another ground rule double. How about this? JP puts on the headsets, and we have 3 hits.
I think I got to stay on the mic all game.
Yes.
Big leagues, and Yuli, Abreu, Singleton, you know, even Caratini and Diaz when they play first. And now Walker, 3-time Gold Glover. You know, you just have to catch the ball and kind of throw it over there and, you know, let him do his thing.
Center today, and he has 2 hits today, so Doobie's got to feel good about things today as he works and walks, so he's on base for a 3rd time. Your thoughts about Doobie? You mentioned all the... Altuve batting for a 4th time. It's pretty much up to the batter whether you want an extra at bat. Now Altuve says, give me the extra at bat because I'm going to send one down the left field line for 1 run, maybe a 2nd run. Altuve with a 2 RBI double. We're all tied up in the 7th inning. See Guillorme's numbers on the spring as he sends one to the right side, and that's through for a base hit, and the Astros have the lead. They gave up 4 in the top of the 7th on a grand slam. They have 5 back in the bottom of the 7th. Guillorme, against his former team, gives the Astros a 5-4 lead.
In Arizona, it's really not windy out there much. No rain, no wind, no nothing. And obviously it carries a little bit better over there. But while I was at home, you know, I'm not too far from here. I'm over in Orlando. Drop.
Oh yeah.
Over in Orlando, not too far from here. So. I don't think that had much to do with it. Obviously, I think I just wanted to get with a good team. You know, when thinking too much about mechanics, but obviously mechanics in a swing are very important. And really the biggest thing is kind of just resting the bat on my shoulder, trying to.
As he's behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Good first batter for a lefty who has been opening a lot of eyes. Steven Okert gets a strikeout here to start his outing. There's another strikeout. Okert back-to-back strikeouts, continuing his strong spring.
The TV game will stick around a while.
How about that? Okert trying to make the Astros roster. Could be a lefty in the pen as he has gone the entire spring without a hit. The opening day roster, but if he keeps putting up seasons like he did last year, it's hard to ignore. He strikes out here against Reed Foley, and there's one away in the 8th. Where he was going into, I knew there was going to be a follow-up from you on what he was doing with his hitting, as Sean Reed Foley, who was just put on outright waivers last week by the Mets, taken off the 40-man roster, says, hey, for all the run scoring in the 7th inning. This one up the middle sharply, and there's that bat that they like from Luis Baez. Clean single to center. 2-out base runner for Houston. Team they play in the prospect breakout game. Ball hit the other way. The infield shaded towards the middle, and no chance to make a play. So Gomez now with a 444 batting average as the New York Met for the last 4. There's a base hit. Barber delivers into left field. That's going to be an RBI as Luis Baez will score. Throw comes to third. Head first slide by Kenny Gomez. And the Astros lead this game 6-4. Colin Barber delivers a base hit. Hitter Guillorme, a left-hand hitter. There goes the runner. Colin Barber is going to get second base, and here comes Kenny Gomez. He's going to slide in safely. So this inning, which started with 2 strikeouts, has now resulted in 2 runs. The young guys, Baez, Gomez, Barber, and now a wild pitch contributing to a 2-run inning with 7 straight. Oh, Guillorme goes the other way. Nice play by the new third baseman Reimer as Jacob Reimer makes the play for out number 3. Astros scored 2 and lead it 7-4 heading to the 9th. 1-2 the count to Jacob Reimer, and Reimer goes down on strikes. His first at bat, the new third baseman, is out number 1. 1 out, nobody on. And there's a ball sent towards second. Great diving stop. And the play is made as the Astros continue to flash the leather. He'll bring you highlights. He'll break down plays. And this time,
Zach
Zach
so close.
almost made an even better play. But he could not quite make that diving catch for the final out of this one. It's all Ash all the time on the.
I'm hearing over 9 days, 6 games, 9 days. That's actually a lot of basketball.
One big hop to Luis Guillorme, who ends the game against his former team with a throw to first, and that will do it. Glover, that was a game that didn't have any offense for a while, and then all of a sudden the Astros end up with a 7-4 win.
Yeah, we saw some really good pitching for the first 6 innings, and all of a sudden these offenses with some of these guys coming in later in the ball game put it together. We saw some. I actually like to see the resilience in a lot of these Astros young players coming back, not being deterred after that grand slam was hit by the Mets, and they end up taking this ball game 7-4.
Astros win it. They're back over 500 with the win, and we'll do it all again on Thursday. But coming up next, the post-game show right after this.